Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind.
20 actors who played teenagers as adults. There have been adult actors and many teenage actors, but there have also been an alarming number of actors who played teenagers as adults.
Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts. Only I can.
Jason Earles in Hannah Montana. Jason Earles didn't have to play a 30-year-old in Hannah Montana for several years. He also had to do press, promotions and interact with actors and other Disney Channel stars who were more than a decade younger than him. In retrospect, Earles, played by Jackson Stewart, was an interesting choice. Alexa Demie in Euphoria. Most of the actors in Euphoria are much older than the characters they portray. Before filming season 3, Jacob Elverdi joked that he would have back pain when he walked the halls. But Alexa Demie is significantly bigger than her character. He is in his early 30s before filming the next season. Darren Barnett in Never Have I Ever. Darren Barnett rose to fame playing a high school student in Never Have Never, and was in his mid-20s when he began filming the role. Barnett had graduated into his 30s by the time the show ended. Ashley Murray in Riverdale. Most of the Riverdale crew were older than the character she portrayed, but Ashley Murray had the biggest age gap. Sure, she looked young, but it might be a stretch to say that a 28-year-old can realistically play a sophomore in high school. Bianca Lawson in Pretty Little Liars. It's understandable why casting directors hire adults to play teenagers when the characters are expected to act very adult, but at times, the age gap becomes too great. Most of the Pretty Little Liars cast members were at least 4 years apart in age from their characters, but Bianca Lawson was the oldest. She was 31 years old when she started playing the role of 16-year-old Maya. Stockard Channing in Grease. Several of the cast members of Grease were in their 30s when the musical was filmed. Looking at the ages of the actors at the time of filming, it seems that the casting director followed a minimum age rather than a maximum age. Stuart Channing was 33 when he played the 18-year-old Rizzo. Chase Stokes in Outer Banks. Unless a teen show is being filmed for the Disney Channel, the teens are likely to be portrayed by adults, and even the Disney Channel sometimes breaks the bounds. Most of Outer Banks cast members are at least in their 20s, and Chase Stokes is in his 30s, more than a decade older than his character. Stacey Dash in Clueless. It seems that various classic movies have cast adults as teenagers. When Stacey Dash played Dion in Clueless, she was 28 and playing a senior in high school. The film never mentions Dion repeating a grade or starting school late, so it can be assumed that the character was 17 or 18 years old. Leonardo DiCaprio in Catch Me If You Can. There is a lot of outrage about the age of the women Leonardo DiCaprio dates, but not so much about the age of the characters he portrays. In the public's defense, her dating history is much longer. The actor played a character with a major age gap only once. DiCaprio was 28 years old when he played a 17-year-old in Catch Me If You Can. Judd Nelson in The Breakfast Club. Judd Nelson became a teen icon when he played the rebellious John Bender in The Breakfast Club. Nelson gained a huge following as a teenager, but by the time the film came out, he was well past that part of his life as a 25-year-old. Henry Winkler in Happy Days. Adults playing with teenagers has been going on for decades. Henry Winkler was 28 years old when he started playing Fonzie on Happy Days. Fonzie, meanwhile, was still in high school. Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing. The age gap in Dirty Dancing was all kinds of problematic. Bebe was 17 years old and Johnny was 25 years old. Jennifer Grey was 27 during filming, while Patrick Swayze was 34. Grey also just finished filming Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where he plays a younger character. Timothy Granaderos in 13 Reasons Why. Timothy Granaderos started playing a teenager on 13 Reasons Why in his late 20s and continued into his early 30s. However, the actor was in good company. Most of the actors were significantly older than the characters they portrayed. Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man. Perhaps part of the reason Spider-Man was so amazing was that the actor who played him wasn't a teenager. Andrew Garfield wasn't even close when he took his turn as a superhero. Garfield was 27 years old when he started playing this 17-year-old character. Florence Pugh in Little Women. As we all know, a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old are very different. As a character approaches adulthood, the restrictions can be loosened a bit more than when they are just entering their teenage years. In Little Women, Amy is shown at the age of 12, meaning that Florence Pugh, as a 23-year-old, had to portray a character who was not yet a teenager. Rachel McAdams in Mean Girls. The Plastics acted more mature than the average teenager in Mean Girls, so it's understandable why the filmmakers cast actors who were already adults. Rachel McAdams was a 26-year-old high school student when she played Regina George. Keiko Agena in Gilmore Girls. Keiko Agna was 27 when she starred as 16-year-old Lynn Kim in Gilmore Girls. Meanwhile, Alexis Bledel was 19 when she started playing Lane's 16-year-old BFF Rory Gilmore. Alan Ruck in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. As noted, Jennifer Grey was much older than her character in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and so was Alan Ruck. The 29-year-old actor played a senior in high school. Jesse Metcalfe in John Tucker Must Die. There's a reason that the teenagers we see in movies aren't like the teens we know in real life. Jesse Metcalfe played the teenage heartthrob John Tucker as a real-life 28-year-old in John Tucker Must Die. Ben Platt in Dear Evan Hansen. Ben Platt was in his early 20s when he made his Broadway debut as 17-year-old Evan Hansen. However, he was 27 when he reprised the role for the film adaptation. Many viewers would love for the lead actor to play the same role in the film adaptation, but in this case, it felt a little off.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really real, anxiety can foggy all this stuff. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me.